Myers Metal Detectors, located in sunny Tampa, Florida, where we sell nothing but fun and adventures, treasure hunting gear, and anything you can imagine for metal detecting. Give us a call, 813-237-1939. Happy hunting and dig deeper.
Live from sunny Florida, it's Treasure Talk.
Oh, that was quick.
Caught you.
You did. I was trying to find the an LG 24 coil to show on the show.
Yes, indeed. Well, we got two of our guests in the green room. The third one is not showing up. I don't know. She probably forgot.
Well, that's okay.
Too much wine. One of the two.
Those were the guests we were supposed to have, Jeff.
Well, no, we're supposed to have three of them.
Yeah, but these guys, I'm sure, are ample.
Well, we'll have to.
The gal will sign in, but I guess I'll get started because I got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight, and
yeah, we got something to go over right out of the get-go. So
yes, so I'll do my spiel, and then you can get going.
Okay.
All righty. Today's show, as you know, is brought to you by your friends at Myers Metal Detectors, where we sell fun and adventure. And we sell fun brands like Nokta, too. And the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed here by the Treasure Talk guests and members belong solely to the guests and member, not necessarily to Phil Myers, Jocelyn Myers, Myers Metal Detectors, or Jeff Monin. And the most important, the purpose of Treasure Talk is to promote the hobby of treasure hunting, metal detecting, and treasure hunting in all forms, and to educate our members in a fun, informative manner. And tonight we're going to do that like we do every Monday night.
Yes, indeed we are. But we got some stuff to cover right out of the chute.
Let's do it.
We are going to, this is a little semi-rant. We're going to do something. We're doing things differently from now on. Okay, I've previously in the past, I've done a giveaway video on a Tuesday where you had to enter a phrase to be registered to win. You had to be tuned in to win. Well, I've noticed that people they're not watching the video, number one. And what they're doing is they're just looking to see what everybody else puts in and then just puts that in. Because on YouTube, as I understand it, there've been a couple people that their comments are disappearing. That's YouTube gremlins. But you don't put the phrase in, that tells me you're not watching the video, and chances are you're not tuning in when you should be. And I've noticed in the last 15 minutes of any of our shows, all of a sudden the viewership goes up because it's prize time.
Yes.
And then as soon as your name's not called, you leave. Well, we're not going to have that anymore.
Yeah,
I think we worked way too hard on this. And anybody that thinks doing a live stream show of any quality is easy, they need to take a step back and think again, because it's not easy.
It's not easy.
Source guests, you've got to source this, and you got to do that, and you got to stay on top of it. So it's not easy. So I found a new tool from StreamYard, and we're going to do the drawing right in the chat. It's going to be live, and you'll see who wins. Somebody could win the same person could win every week. I don't have any control over it, so that's the way it's
what it is. Yes,
and you're going to put it in. We will put in what you need to do is you need to put hashtag Redbook. That's the key phrase that I'm going to look for in the chat. You must be in the chat. You must put that in, or the random giveaway picker is not going to source your name out. So we will have it live, or hopefully it's going to work correctly, and we'll see the winner tonight. We'll have two winners. And I tell you what, the prizes that Phil chose to donate, that ain't no sneezy prize either, let me tell you. That red book is about a $60 value.
They're cool books, and I'm sure they're going to love it. And we always, of course, put our famous calendar in there, and a couple other items they're going to get, because we like to spoil our customers for sure.
That's right. And, I don't think it's too much to ask for you to be tuned in to win. Now, I don't know when in the course of the show that we're going to do it, and it's going to vary every week.
Yes, so that's great, Jeff.
of when you can tune in and just put it in and then tune out. Because this is just not, it's not a Salvation Army show. So my rant's over. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah. I guess everybody's doing the chat in there because Jocelyn's saying, why is because she must not be able to hear you that well, Jeff, but they're saying Red Book because it's hashtag Red Book, right?
Yep, hashtag Red Book. And that's
Hashtag
what
Red Book.
yep.
Yeah, that's so that they can be in the drawing because we're doing it live. And I think this is going to be the coolest thing because that's what I always want to do. But we're learning new stuff, aren't we, Jeff?
Yeah, we are. And I just happened to come across this because I've been searching for another way to do the giveaways. I like doing the giveaways. I know you like doing the giveaways.
Yes.
And a lot of our guests that come on, not everybody does a giveaway. And there are going to be some weeks where we don't have a giveaway. But, the guests, for the most part, like to do a giveaway, share their product with the people. I think we bring you outstanding content. I really do. We strive very, very hard to do that. I don't know of any other the live streams that bring you as much content, valuable content and learning as we try to do. So this is what we're going to do going forward, and hopefully you will come along for the ride.
Yes, and I think it's going to be great, Jeff. And tonight will be the first time we try it, so hopefully it'll work.
Yeah, hopefully it'll work. We'll find out, but it doesn't look like it's that difficult, and it can't be that difficult if I could figure it out. So there's that.
I can't
But
wait.
anyway, on the good stuff tonight, as we believe that Nokta is the premier detector company in the world right now. I do it personally.
Yeah, they're an
And
awesome company, and they treat us right, and they've developed some new products, and they've got new ones in the pipeline. It's we lose one company, but we gain another one. So Jeff, I always loved the White's products, but they during the pandemic went out, and I think Nokta is trying to fill their shoes and just come on strong, and they've got some cool products. They were, of course, at our annual club hunt and picnic yesterday, and they put on a good show. We had Brandon Carmichael there, and they give away a detector, and it was just a really fun event. And for folks who are not in clubs, and I know Wicked Digger, he's a club president. So for the folks who are not in clubs, they should check those out because you learn a lot.
yeah, you do. And you make a lot of good friends. If you're a newbie, that's the first thing you want to do, other than join Treasure Talk and watch Treasure Talk, is find a club and become a member, because you'll make a lot of great friends. And a lot of them, you're just going to learn a whole bunch of good stuff. So,
I do a little model in there, Jeff.
Oh, you showing the shirt?
Yeah, Jocelyn said somebody wanted to see the shirt. So
let's see the shirt. Do another model.
We'll do it again. I'll pull my band of white. Yeah, it's got
just don't pull it up.
I got a too big of a gut.
Well, as we forge ahead, we were going to have 3 of the Nokta Nomads tonight. Unfortunately, one just, I don't know, probably got called away. We're going to go with the 2 we have, and they're grand in their own right. Let me tell you, you're not going to be disappointed.
Yeah, she could have had gremlins in her computers. I was dealing with that a little bit earlier, so who knows what happened.
In the world of live stream video, you never know. Especially anything to do with the internet, who knows? These 2 guys got it going on. I think you're going to absolutely love them. And what we're going to talk about tonight is a nomad's life.
Yeah.
Now, everybody thinks, oh, well, you get to be a Nokta Nomad. The only reason you want to be a nomad is to get free detectors. It's not that simple, folks. Yeah, they get equipment, but there's a lot more involved in it. It's very time consuming. You make a sacrifice when you become a Nokta Nomad, and we're going to find out a little bit about that tonight. So let's get to it, Phil.
Yeah, let's bring them on.
Let's bring on Brandon Carmichael and Wicked Digger. Here's Brandon. Can you hear us, Brandon?
Yes, finally I can. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Awesome. Well,
Excellent.
let's start with Brandon first. I wanted to thank Brandon for coming out to the West State Club. He's actually a member of our club.
I am.
We had an awesome event. I think I put in the Facebook feed, that's GOAT, the greatest of all time. So it was just a good event. We had perfect weather and people seemed to like finding the silver on the beach, and we just had a good time. We had a nice silver hunt where they put out a couple $1,000s worth of silver coins and prizes. And then, of course, we had the raffle for a legend and a AccuPoint. So that was just awesome. So thank you, Brandon, for doing that.
Yeah, I was glad to be there with you guys. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah. And answering people's questions on Nokta products, which is cool always, because I don't know all the answers. So it's nice to have some.
I don't either. It's okay. If I don't know, I'll figure it out.
Yes. And with the Legend, it's got some pretty advanced features. Chris, are you using Legend also?
I am, yes.
You do any beach hunting?
I don't do beach hunting very often. I do have beaches around me, but I usually stick to the dirt, the woods and farms. Yep.
Well, that's good. But Brandon, you do both, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, the first 15 years in the hobby, I mainly just did relic hunting and stuff on land in Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Alabama, and then down here. But the last few years or so, I kind of forced myself to go start beach hunting because I'm like, dude, I live 15, 20 minutes away from every beautiful beach in our area. I'm like, why am I not going beach hunting? And the more I did it, the more I started enjoying it and realized I'm now not in my 20s. I'm now hit the 40s. So beach hunting is actually heck of a lot easier than up and down and land and stuff. So, but yeah, I go to the beach quite a bit, as much as I can.
Yeah, it's nice. I think the beaches are nice to hunt. You don't have to do all the research to find permissions and and relic hunting to me is the coolest. You pull something out of the ground that's a couple hundred years old. It's just, to me, it's fascinating.
You know what people are saying? They're calling this the cough drop live stream. They look like a couple of Smith brothers. Both of them got the big beard.
Yeah, I was just reading Ricky T's. Jocelyn said, "Look what Ricky T said." He said, "The beard bros."
Right. Yeah, his is a little more stellar than mine, though.
It didn't happen on purpose,
Well,
yeah, my hair is actually really long too. I just got to pull back at the moment.
Yeah, and I've been trying to get to my inner Santa Claus, so I'm trying to get it. It might take me a year, but I'll get there.
Well, you're getting there.
Yeah, I am. I'm amazed. But let's talk a little bit, like Jeff said, about what it's like to be a nomad. And we'll start with you, Chris. Tell us what you've been doing as a nomad. What do you do?
So as a nomad, obviously I first and foremost represent this company and the product. I've for quite a few years have been using nothing but Nokta products. Probably started in 2019 with the Simplex. Used that machine for a long time and really got to know it well. And for a long time, I bugged DLAC about becoming a nomad. For a very long time, we communicated, and I talked to her a lot and said, "Listen, if you ever need a nomad, I'm in Massachusetts. I would love to be a part of the group." And in December last year, actually right before Christmas, was when she had spoke to me and asked me to become part of the team. So I'm honored to be a nomad, and I think that us as a group, we have a great group of people representing Nokta. One of the things we do, of course, is we go around to events, and first and foremost, we're here to help people. To help people with their machines, with their questions that they might have, any difficulties. And as Brandon mentioned, we don't always know everything either on our end, but we do our best to learn from each other as well as learn on our own to be able to help everybody.
Cool. And how about you, Brandon? What have you been doing with Nokta? And how long have you been?
Oh, goodness. Mine wasn't the same as his. My experience with Nokta has just been the last few years or so. I used my old White's IDX Pro for, like I said, about the first 15 years. And when I started thinking, hey, I need to get into beach hunting. I was like, all right, I need to upgrade. I need to get a better machine. I love my old IDX Pro and do it like the back of my hand, but I wanted to upgrade. So I first upgraded at that time. I did a lot of research on pretty much every detector out, and I settled upon Nokta just because of the quality I kept seeing coming from them. And at the time, the best detector I could really work with, which Kimmy will appreciate this one because she loves it, is the Amphibio Multi. And it's a killer machine. It's especially killer for relic hunting. I mean, just amazing. But being its selective single frequency, it didn't work so well on the beach. So I upgraded as soon as I found out they're coming out with the Legend. I'm like, oh, it's multi-frequency. This is perfect. It's waterproof. This is everything I need. So I ended up getting my first last year and then upgrading again. Well, I bought a second one in the fall of last year, and so now I've got like two of them. I've spent a lot on all my gear, and but it's been worth it. And so that's kind of me from the detecting side, and then responsibility side, I guess, if you will. It really is. It is not about machines, if you will. It like getting free stuff. That's not even on my radar, and it never has been actually. And it's funny because I kept saying to my family, they're the only ones I even ever said this to. I was like, man, I would love to be a part of Nokta. Like, I don't know how, I don't know, when, but like, I'll fly me to Turkey. I'll go scrub their toilets. You know what I mean? Like, I just wanted to be a part of them because I really like the same stuff I saw in whites back in the day and their machines. And Phil understands that, being a white stealer and everything.
Oh yeah.
I saw the same stuff in Nokta. Except for their technology, man, they just keep pushing forward and they keep listening and keep putting out better machines. And so with that, D-Luck actually approached me at our Florida hunt earlier this year, and it caught me so off guard because, like I said, I had only said this to my family, and she started asking me questions at the booth, and then eventually she's like, "Hey, would you consider being a nomad for Nokta?" And I was literally dying inside. And trying to like keep a straight face, like everything around me just like disappeared, and I was like, okay, don't freak out, and I just like tried as calmly as I could to be like, yeah, like that would absolutely be amazing, like I would love that. And so it was I was so very honored though for her to. She already knew who I was beforehand and introduced herself and got to know my family there at the hunt that weekend. So it was just really a blessing for me for her to ask me that. And since then, I've been attending, like you said, attending hunts and stuff. I've gone to the Central Florida event, and then I went out to Arkansas to their event, Brandon Sutton's event out there, Treasure Fest 6. And then I, of course, did the club hunt yesterday with you guys. And we got another Florida hunt coming up. This time I'll be there with Nokta, which is awesome. And because I've been going to those for, I think this will be my 7th year going to those. So, and then I think there's another Missouri hunt I might try to see if they need me up there for. So, yeah, there's a lot of back end stuff, like detecting aside. Like there's just so much with the events. There's so much, especially helping people, because that really is like what it boils down to. And it's funny because that's the one thing I had been doing prior to talking to D-Lec and her asking me to do this. I had already been doing that. I talk to people all the time about Nokta gear and just advice where I can. I'm not a know-it-all, and I don't know it all. But I try as best as I can to help others, and I still do that. It's stacked, like it's crazy. Social media is a beast. It's insane. So to try to keep up with it all, it's a lot of stuff that you got to do.
Well, we got a question here.
Just 1 second, Phil. A lot of people think when you go to the hunts now as a nomad that you get all this time hunting. That's not the case. You're there and you may not get to hunt at all because people want to talk to you about Nokta.
Oh yeah.
And that's why you're there, because you are part of Nokta. You get to go to the hunt, but think of all the people that you get to help and the people that you get to meet. And that's part of it as well. Isn't that right, both you guys?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. It's majority of it's talking honestly to people. That's the majority of it. And honestly, I've been lucky. Just like yesterday when Phil's like, "Hey, why don't you go detect?" It's like, you don't always get that chance because you're so busy talking and interacting, and honestly, it's my favorite part thus far is the interactions and meeting people and
Yeah.
all over, and it's really cool. But that it does take up a majority of the time, but it's fun. It's really fun.
For sure.
Just one quick thing here for those that are just joined us and a little late. We're doing different giveaway tonight. If you want to be in on the giveaway, it'll be a live giveaway in the chat. What you have to enter in the chat is #Redbook. Otherwise, you won't be considered. So
Yeah.
that's all I got to say.
Yeah, make sure you do that #Redbook because we're going to try this live on the stream, and we've never done it before, and I think it's going to be cool. And then Jocelyn and Jeff both caught this one here. Have you guys gotten to use the new AccuPoint pinpointer and your thoughts on it so far? And we'll start with Brandon and give it to Chris here.
Yeah. This is actually the one Nokta sent. This is the one I bought before Nokta sent because I was super impatient and I've been waiting for like over a year. Because I did the same thing with my old Pulse Dive and Amphibio Multi. The whole pairing thing to your headphones is
He's terrible on Christmas Eve, Cavell.
I usually tell people don't worry about getting me stuff because I don't really need anything at that point. But no, seriously, like I've been waiting for so long. It's been over a year, and I've been able to use it a bit, not a ton, but it does exactly what I was hoping it would. The updates to 1.13 was very seamless. I know some people, I've had some interactions with people online saying they've had issues updating and stuff. And I mean, honestly, computer stuff is not always everyone's cup of tea. I had to scramble last second to try to do my backup camera system from what it was supposed to, where no one could hear me earlier. But not everyone's good with tech, and I get it. But for me, I really haven't had any issues, and I've tried to help people that have experience with issues talk it through and try to walk it through and see if we can figure out what's going on. But yeah, it does exactly what it's supposed to. The pinpointer, I've got 4 other pinpointers I think I've used over the years that I have, and this one by far is the fastest pinpointer. Like, it's insane. Like, once I hit the button, I can't. I'm usually used to waiting a second or two for it to come on, and it's just as soon as I hit the button, it's on already beeping. So it's great. The sensitivity I think is perfect. I keep mine on 8, so just a bar down from max.
Okay.
And the whole ferrous non-ferrous thing is stellar. Like, it's so cool to be able to turn off iron because when you're in a hole and there's a bunch of iron all around, like, you really don't want to have to clear the hole before you just get to the dang target that you're trying to find. So I really like that a lot. But that's my thoughts on it. I'm not a salesperson. I'll tell you what I like and what I don't like. But thus far, I haven't found anything really that I dislike about it. I think it's super awesome. Like I said, I've got 2 now, so I have 2 legends and 2 AccuPoints, which is perfect.
Awesome.
But yeah, it's great.
Okay, Chris, and how about you? You got a chance to use it?
I have, yes. I got to use it last week for the first time, and the only time so far. But at first glance, it's a great pinpointer. I love the features that it has, as Brandon talked about. With the 2-tone and doing the ferrous and non-ferrous. That's really a great feature that I've never had in a pinpointer, and I've had quite a few as well. Probably 4 or 5 at least different pinpointers in my time. I love the fact that you can adjust the sensitivity, and as he mentioned, it is fast. I mean, you turn it on and it's on and ready to go. That's something that I feel like Nokta's done with even their machines. The new Simplex line, the Ultra and stuff. You hit that button and it turns right on. There's not much wait time of anything. It's ready to go. So that is definitely a great feature of it. Everything, when you go through that menu and you could change the sensitivity, you can, have it on vibrate mode. You could have it on noise and vibrate and noise, a little bit of everything. That's going to help a lot of people who may need that, specifically, something about that. So
cool. Well, it looks like Jeff put a post up there that Liz, the Digging Canuck, has a good video on that AccuPoint pinpointer. And then Jocelyn gave me another question here from Sam Truckley. Where is the best place you love digging and your best finds, I guess? Both of those. We'll start with you, Brandon.
So yeah, my best, honestly, so I have relic hunted for so long. I enjoy beach hunting, but like, and I found a lot. I'm not trying to like humble brag or anything. I found so much on our beaches, and like Phil knows exactly what I'm talking about because he beach hunts too. There's just so much in our area to be found, and it's cool and it's fun, and I've been able to do returns for a lot of people on jewelry. The best beach find, and I hate it because whoever lost it, I feel so bad for them. But I found three 14-karat gold and diamond rings. Two was a wedding set, and the third was just with them in like a little 15-inch spot on one of our beaches that I go to a lot. That was probably my best beach find, just because you don't usually find that nice of rings all together like that. And again, I feel bad whoever lost it. I mean, I found a men's mason ring very close to that spot like a night before, so it very well could have been like a husband and wife out there on vacation or something. But I tried to return it, couldn't. There's not really any identifiable info on it. But my best though would be at 3 Florida hunts ago, I guess it's been now. It's crazy. Was this on an old home site? And I showed this actually right after I found it with Jeff and you guys when I came on here years ago. But that's my 1783 Spanish 2 Real. It sits literally on my desk here every day while I'm working because it just gets my head, and like I don't care what goes on today with work and stuff, dude. I'm gonna go detecting as soon as I can, and kind of keeps me in a good mood. And I love seeing it because it's the oldest thing I've ever found. I found a lot of relics, but it's just the oldest coin and the oldest anything I've ever found. And the fact that it's from here in Florida, and I'm a Florida native, I've grown up here my entire life. It's so special to me because it's tied to our history here. So that's my favorite by far.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And you, Chris?
Well, I've been lucky, obviously living in Massachusetts. I have a lot of old land around me. My oldest coin I ever found was 1600s. It is a one bobby, or a sixpence, a Scottish sixpence. So as far as age, that's my oldest. But my most favorite find would have to be this button here. This is a I'm trying to get it up here the best I can. 1798 U.S. Navy diplomatic service button. As far as I know from my research, I think this is only the 11th one known to exist. And it's very possible that this could have belonged to someone like John Adams or Ben Franklin, someone who was in the diplomatic service. So that's probably my most cherished and dear find that I've ever had. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cool button. I love buttons because for years I was able to hunt the Fort Brooke area. I found a lot of really old buttons. I just love them. And then I got one of these books here. Is that button in this Albert's book?
It may be. It may be. I've never looked in the book, but I get like a colonial shoe buckle. That's you don't find them complete too often. So this was nice, and that was deep and very sandy soil.
That's cool. That's really
yeah. And then
go ahead, keep going.
And then the last other thing, one of my favorite coins is Fugio that I have. So
that's
designed by
right?
Benjamin Franklin. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. All righty. Well, I got a question of my own now. Now, you guys both worked, I guess, the Nokta tent. And what is the most common question you guys have on like the legend? Let's say that one for instance.
I get a lot of people who ask, how deep does it go? I guess depth is always a huge question. I think that people are always trying to get out of their machine. How much deeper can I go? That's, to me, is probably the most common question I hear.
Yeah, I get depth questions, but and I've told them, I've detected for quite a long time, and I know like depth is such a loaded question because there's so many factors. There's like the type of metal, the size of the metal, if it's on an edge or if it's flat, like the ground condition, if it's mineralized soil or just wet soil or super dry, like and what's surrounding it, other metals that could be masking or interfering with it. So depth is so subjective, to be honest. And
I agree.
The one thing I've realized with my machine and if I get my coil over something, I know I'm gonna pick it up. I've yet to find one target. Somebody's like, "Hey, I got this target." Like, you're not gonna be able to pick it up with your machine. And I've had people do that, like with the Deus and Deus 2. and other machines, and I've yet to find a target that I can't, and I honestly don't think I cannot. But I personally, I think question wise at the hunts I've gone to, I think it's just been more of like intrigue about the legend because so many people have heard about it since it's been released, and so I think a lot of people hear other people talk about it, but then when they have a chance to actually talk to somebody representing Nokta, they want to come talk to you about it. They kind of want your opinion on it, and if my opinion wasn't what it was, and that's what I've told other people, I wouldn't have both of my legends. I wouldn't have bought a second one as a backup machine. But that's and a lot of the other questions are just so random. There's so many random questions that people have. Sometimes they're just curious about where you're from, what you dig in your area, what type of detecting you do. It's just so random. But yeah, it's all over the board when it comes to questions.
Yeah, I had a customer who used, and he might be on here, Dave. He's in the club and he bought a Nokta. He had a whites for a long time, and it's a real old whites, and it's kind of rough on his equipment, and it just was beat to hell to make it nice. But he bought a Legend and he wasn't using it, and he said he brought it into me in the shop here and says, "Hey, help me set this up." And the only thing I did was put him in the I think the field program, and I turned the sensitivity down because he had his sensitivity wide open. And I said, turn that down a little bit. I think the sensitivity goes to 30, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know why you'd put it that high, but yes, it does.
So I put it down to, I think, 18. I said, look, you learn this as you learn the detector, then start bumping it up a little bit. So at that hunt yesterday, Brandon, I had 3 people come over because Dave told them, hey, I super tuned this detector, and I want you to do that to mine. And I said, I didn't do anything. I put it in the stock program and turned the sensitivity down.
Yeah, and that's honestly the most. And I actually had that conversation yesterday too. And listen, I really appreciate, because I am a tech person, but I really don't like messing with settings on detectors very often. Honestly, I just want to sneak and detect. That's part of the reason why I struggle with wanting to record videos and stuff. As much as I would love to like share that with people, I'd probably prefer to just take them out and go detecting them instead. But that's the thing, is I don't want to really have to mess with a lot of settings, and I've told multiple people, because they do want to go into settings and they hear other people in other states or other places say, oh, the setting's the best, oh, do this, do that, make these changes, and I'm not saying that it's invalid. I'm sure it is valid where they're at, and it very well may work for them, but I think more times out of not, those people that listen to YouTubers, social media, whoever, that tells them to change all these settings and stuff, when they really blindly don't understand what they're changing. They just think, hey, this is going to be a magic pill, it's going to fix everything, make it work better than anything ever. It usually doesn't, at least from what I've seen. And I think your ground conditions and where you're hunting really dictates everything. But I will say, and this is out of my own experience, I've mostly just run stock settings, and people like literally look at me cross-eyed when I say that, and it's so funny. I'm like, and there's nothing really they can say back, because again, please show me something that I can't pick up with my machine. And I'm just running basic settings. I'm not adjusting hardly anything at all. I'm, run frequency shift, make sure, nothing's interfering, and adjust sensitivity as needed. But each coil, again, is going to dictate where your sensitivity is going to be anyway. But you don't really have to do a whole lot, just to go out and enjoy and detect. But like Phil said, learn your machine.
Yeah.
Don't just run right into it and start jacking with settings. Like, learn what you're doing first. Like, and that really goes for everyone. And to me, it's just better to go be able to enjoy detecting, enjoy what you're doing. And I've seen other people with other machines that I've hunted with get really frustrated. And half the time, that's what they're doing. They're sitting there just messing with settings and changing this and changing that. And I'm watching them. I'm just literally, and I don't say anything because I don't want to be rude, and I don't want to, if they feel like they know what they're doing, have at it. And if it's not even, especially if it's not a machine I'm using, I mean, cool. But again, I just want to have fun, and that's mostly what I try to do. But I don't want to do that, stopping every 2 seconds messing with machines. And again, some things you can't help. EMI or interference, maybe on the beaches from buried extension cords from volleyball tournaments they have, and there's all kinds of things that may interfere or mess with it. But the least amount of adjustments you make is just the more time that you have to spend detecting. That's how I view it anyway.
Yeah, and I would
Very
also
good.
say, go ahead, Jeff.
Let's do this giveaway. And
Let's-
then when we get done with the giveaway, there'll be 2 of them. Then we'll talk about the new detectors coming out. That answers some questions I've seen in the chat.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right, let's see. Let's see if it works.
Let's see if it works. I want to see that. Then I have a comment for your stock programs. Sometimes I feel like the engineers know what they're doing,
Definitely.
to make sure you're new to the detector. They want you to get out there and love it. So stick with the stock program for a
Yep.
little bit. So, because they know a little bit more than what we know about the detector when it's new. So did it work, Jeff?
Well, it's not coming on the screen. I'll have to figure out how to do that, but I did get the 1 winner.
Okay.
And okay, we've got 2 winners. 2 winners. Sam Truckley and Detecting Adventures Aggie Hall. 2 winners. So what you got to do, before next time, I'll figure out how to get it up on the screen.
Yeah, maybe we'll try something on Saturday, Jeff. And
Yeah, I'll get it figured out. I told you I'm not no genius. So what you got to do is you got to send your name, address, and phone number.
And who was it again, Jeff? I'm sorry.
Sam Truckley and Detecting Adventures Aggie Hall.
Aggie Hall. And they were in the live stream, so you were able to pull it. We'll just have to figure out that maybe we can give away a T-shirt or something on Saturday, and
I'll get it figured out.
So we can show it the visible, because I think that would be really cool to be able to do that.
Yeah,
sure.
it'll be all right. It'll be all right. Like I said, I know they were in there, so
Yes,
they
I
won.
did see them.
And I'll make sure that it's on the screen the next time. It's got something to do, but I just found it this afternoon, so let me
Aggie.
through.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's continue with our questions, I guess. And I saw you had a question up there, Jeff. What's the best entry level for beach hunting? And then you mentioned the 2 new detectors. So let's let you wicked digger first. And then we go to Brandon.
Yeah, well, that's the one I would have mentioned to Mona. There would be one of the score machines coming out. Anytime you can have a multi-frequency machine on the beach, it's always going to run a little smoother and better. I have, although I don't go to the beach very often, I have used the Simplex Plus that I've had for years. And as long as you dial it in okay, you can get it so it's pretty smooth actually. And the new Simplex, the Ultras, same deal with it. But with anything multi-frequency, it's going to be much quieter, much better. And the scores that are coming out, I mean, they're going to be fantastic machines. There's no doubt about it. They're going to be a light machine. They're going to be real easy to use for a beginner and great on the beach. But also, they're going to have some great features that when you get to learn the machine, you might be able to take advantage of that will help everybody out, to fine tune to their liking or to where you're hunting, I think even better, much like the Legend, and with that being said, even a Legend, to be honest with you, is not a hard machine to use. And they do set them up, from factory to basically be able to turn on and go. With minimal adjustments to no adjustments. You as Brendan mentioned, you can turn them on and just go the way they come out of the box. But it's how you set it up. And if you start messing with a lot of things, that can make a difference. Especially with sensitivity, as you mentioned. I always try to tell everybody about sensitivity. It kind of refers to almost like the music in your radio, where say your radio went up to 30, just like the Legend, and you turn the music up, the volume up to 18. You turn it up to 22. It still sounds really smooth. You turn it all the way up to 30. And now those speakers don't sound smooth because you're just putting too much energy in there. And that's the same thing with sensitivity on a detector. When you turn it too high, it's sometimes just too much for any machine. It's any machine that's out there, and I always run them like, you know, at least a few notches to a notch below full sensitivity, and it seems to smooth out a machine where it actually seems to be more deep, and separate trash and everything better as well.
Hmm. Awesome. Well, before we go to you, Brandon, I just want to mention a comment from Jean P. And she said, Mona, the Legend would be what I would go for. On sale at Myers now with lots of extras. And let's face it, Naka knows how to put some extras in there. Right now,
Let's do that right now.
Hmm.
Let's show them what extras. You wanna?
Go right ahead. Do you have it? Hey, folks. Bill Myers here from Myers Metal Detectors. And today I wanted to show you some of the cool stuff that's coming with the Christmas specials from Naka. And first off, the Naka Legend, $679 for the Pro Pack. That you get the 2 coils, you get 11-inch, or actually it's a 12x9 now, and you get the 6-inch coil. But also, check this out. You get the AccuPoint pinpointer that pairs to your detector into your headphones. So no more pulling your headphone off to hear your pinpointer. This is an awesome product. I've tried one of these out, works excellent. Rechargeable battery. It's just an awesome pinpointer. You're gonna love that. Also in the Pro Pack, it has the starter kit that comes, of course, with the pinpointer, comes with the digger, comes with the fines pouch, and it also comes with a holster for your leg holster for the pinpointer too. So you can either wear that on your belt or on your leg. Either way, excellent product. So we've got them in stock now. I need your help, folks, because I've got 16 more of these coming in on Monday. So please tell your friends and digging buddies about us down here in Tampa, Florida. Myers Metal Detectors, 813-237-1939. Happy hunting and dig deeper. And thank you, Naka, for an awesome product with the Legend. Works great on our beaches here in saltwater. You're going to love it. See ya. Hey, that was good. This guy had my shirt on.
Dude.
They don't pay that guy enough to make those commercials, honestly.
I know. I don't want to pay
That's an
him
incredible
enough.
deal.
It is a good deal for someone wanting to get
Wow.
started in metal detecting. You get a high-end detector. You're getting the pinpointer, the pairs to the detector. You're getting all the accessories. It is a good deal.
Yeah.
So with that said, if you want the high end, that would be the detector for your beach hunting. But the lady was asking about, I guess, an entry level. So we'll go to you, Brandon.
Yeah, so I've been, ever since I found out about these machines, I've been eagerly waiting because I get into lots of conversations out on the beaches, and I know some people are, I think, a bit, I don't know if annoyed is the right word, but they just seem to think, oh, these machines are just for saltwater, they're just for beach hunting. It's really not true. It's just they're a more turn on and go, easy to use. Multi-frequency machines, so they're just like I said it before, they're like a step down from the Legend and a step up from the Simplex. But I've been waiting because when people ask me that same question, hey, I want to get into metal detecting, specifically I want to go beach hunting or even beach hunting sometimes, because you really need a multi-frequency machine to do that. Like Chris said, you can, and I have with the Simplex Ultra, you can get them to work. I mean, even my detecting buddy did when he first started with his Simplex Plus. You can get them to work on saltwater beaches, but you typically have to do the manual ground balance thing down to 0, and then adjust the sensitivity down a little bit lower to kind of accommodate that. And I've even heard of some people notching out the numbers where they're getting false signals from the mineralized sand. So there's ways of going about it, but the best way of going about it would get a multi-frequency machine. Of course, I love my Legend, and that's why I have a backup. Mostly is if I have friends or family or whoever wants to use it and check it out, like, you're always welcome to do it, and that's why I have it. And I love taking people out and doing that. But sometimes when it comes to beach hunting, and Phil knows this, and Jeff does probably too. Probably all of us really know it. It definitely, there's a cost of entry to getting into detecting, and especially beach hunting. With detecting on land, you might be able to get some pouches from Home Depot or Lowe's, and a hand trowel the same. You might be able to get other stuff and not get actual detecting gear. But like for the beach, you really need to get detecting gear. You need a good beach scoop, and you need a good solid detector. And I personally love having a sensored headlamp that I can sweep my hand in front of it and turn it on and off. It's just I have all the gear that I need to go out and do that. But multi-frequency machine though, and getting a Legend, even though it's really well priced, especially with those packages they're putting out, it's nuts. The all the accessories you're getting for the same price, really, of what you would have been paying for just the Legend and headphones before, or the Pro Pack, alone before. They've included so many good accessories with it, but you still have to factor in, hey, I might need a beach scoop too, and Phil's got beach scoops as well, and those do kind of cost a little bit more as well. But if you can get the price of the detector down that you need for the beach, like the score and double score, then that gives you a little more wiggle room to go get a nicer scoop, get the right gear to start out, so that you're not going out and having failure problems with gear out on the beaches, while you're just trying to have a good time. So I've really been looking forward to them, and especially the entry level aspect of them, really being simplistic, like the Simplex lineup. You don't really need to mess with settings. You don't really, even the settings that I have on my Legend, even though I don't utilize a lot of them because I just like to run stock, on those, especially the score, you really don't even have that option anyway. It literally is almost entirely turn on and go machine. You only have minimal settings available on the score or the double score, for that same reason. But they're both just, I personally think it's going to be great and perfect because it's giving that opportunity to people who would like to get into it. And let's face it, you can go park hunting with a single frequency machine like the Simplex line, but when it comes to the beach, just nothing beats the multi-frequency machine, and even Deluxe says that herself. So I'm really looking forward to those being released, and I've had people asking for them even now. They're like, "Can I get them now?" I'm like, "A little bit more time. They're almost, they're almost there. We're just waiting." So hopefully soon enough we'll have them out and people will start to get their hands on them. It's awesome.
Yeah, I don't think they rush it. They want to make sure it's perfect when
Yep.
when it comes into the store and they're selling it. They don't get them back, because there was a company a few years back who released a detector and they send them back to their factory 3 times, and that company is no longer in existence. So they want to get it right the first time, and
Yeah.
it's a wait. I believe so, like the Legend was. So
Yeah. They really focus on quality of their machines, and again, that's why I was so drawn to them when I first wanted to get my first Nokta. Well, it's Nokta Macro at that point,
Mhm.
but that's why one of the reasons I was so drawn to it is the fact that they do really spend a lot of time making sure the quality of their machines is just awesome, and the fact that they can offer them at the price points they do is just wild, and I love it. I think it's cool. It just makes it a lot more affordable and a lot more
right,
accessible for others. And even though they might cost less, like I said, I can go out there with my machine and I can pick up every target everyone else can, no matter what detector it is or how expensive it
Yeah.
is. Like, doesn't matter. And the more time you spend too, the more time, the more equals the more fines. So the more time you spend detecting, even if it's the least expensive detector ever, you'll find stuff. You just got to get out there and go do it. If you're
get
not
out.
out there detecting, you won't. So.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the score and double score, Chris?
I'm very excited for them. You know, I use the Simplex Plus for over 3 years, and I absolutely love that machine. And the feel of the Ultra, which I think the score is going to be similar, it's kind of the same platform, build wise. It is very comfortable to use. It's very light, something you could swing all day long. And I think the technology that Nokta uses, the way that they really listen to the consumer too. I think that they are one of the best companies, if not the best company out there, that really listens well to the consumer and what the consumer wants. It's not, you're not always going to pay, all this money and have the best machine. They, like Brandon mentioned, make great machines for very affordable prices. They listen really well to the consumers and really take that stuff in, and that's why they do a lot of updates when needed. And they come out with these new machines with different features that everybody wants. One of the big things with the Legend when they were designing it was to not have a 0 to 100 scale. A lot of people wanted it scaled down to try to keep that VDI a little more stable without it jumping everywhere and stuff. And, so they did it. Said, okay, that's what everybody wants. We're going to do it. And that's really says a lot about a company.
Now, am I wrong in assuming, and you may know this, Phil, I don't, that's why I'm asking this question. I'm thinking I heard Delic tell us that the double score is a simultaneous multi-frequency, so it should run
Yes.
pretty good in the saltwater. It's IP68 rated, I believe.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
And so it's going to be a great all-around detector for we all talk about it. Everybody wants to be this good, this, big time program guru. And 99% of everything that's found is found off a stock program. So the turn on and go, and I know Phil will attest to this. How many people come in the store and that's what they want, Phil? They just want to turn on and go, good machine.
Mhm.
They don't want to worry about any advanced menus or anything. They just want something simple they can turn on and go. So yeah, those will be hits for a lot of people. They just want a detector. They don't want to learn. But I know, Brandon, you said you're kind of a techie, and I've been in computers for a long time, but I like it just turn on and go with the stock program. I don't go crazy on anything on it. But I did want to mention that I did see a couple comments up here. One was Gene P wants to get one of those Legends after seeing my commercial. Thank you, Gene P. And yeah, just give me a call tomorrow. And she was asking if we had the AccuPoint in stock, and I still have a few of those left by themselves. So if you wanted them, and then I saw a comment that now I can't find them. Boy, these gold.
I think it was Lewis was asking if we use gold prospecting. I'm in Florida, so all my gold is pre-designed gold. So no, I haven't been able to use gold prospecting. I would love to. I'd love to go out to like Alaska or somewhere out, northern California and use it, but I don't really have that option down here. I've found some little like nuggets of different types of metals on our beaches. I'm not really sure where they're coming from, but I haven't had to use. It comes up the same signals. It's just very faint, very small sounding. But yeah, I don't get the chance here in Florida. I wish I could.
Yeah.
What's the price point on the double score?
I believe the score. I want to say, and I'm just doing this off memory, listening to Mark and Delek talk about them. But I believe, and don't quote me, please. But I believe the score was somewhere around like 375, and the double score is like 425, and both of them. That's not with headphones. They're without headphones. I want to say the headphones are somewhere around like 100 or
Yeah, $109 if it's the stock wireless headphones.
It is, yeah, it's just the Bluetooth. And also, a minute ago, Jeff, when you asked about the waterproofness of them, that's the other reason. Yes, they are waterproof. If I go put my waterproof headphones I use in my Legend onto, I could even do it with the Simplex Ultra as well. But if I go put them on the Score or double score, I can go right out to my chin like I normally do with that machine, just like I can with my Legend. So it's the same principle, same multi-frequency, just a lot more simple to use and a lot just like get out there and go with it.
Yeah. So
Well, I don't know how, when you get out to your chin, Brandon, I don't know how you can concentrate on detecting because the fish are going to be eating on your beard.
They nibble at my toes sometimes. I've had some swim around me. The only weird thing I've ever had was a shark, and it wasn't huge, but still, when you're out there, you're a bit vulnerable when you're out to your chest. But I had a shark come right at me out at Fort DeSoto once, and I could see its fin, and it was coming right directly at me. And when I got close enough to where I could see its eyes, I just brought my scoop up and just jammed it straight at it, turned around and took off. Thank goodness, because I was, yeah, the water got warm around me. I was a bit worried about a shark coming right at me. That's the first time I ever had that happen. But
yeah, I've had them come up right next to me, bump me, and that I was out of the water real quick. That was.
I don't want to fist bump. I'm not interested in that.
Yeah. But I did want to. I found the other comment that Sam Truckley left. She said, "Gene P, at least you will get it from Myers, and Phil gives you the best deals ever." So for sure, call me.
Gene P is the smart shopper.
She is, And tomorrow, like I said, you get that free AccuPoint with the Legend. That's been a
That's
crazy
amazing.
promotion there. That is amazing because the pinpointer by itself is $139. So that's an awesome deal. And yeah, I've got them in stock.
Yeah.
I've got all the versions of it in stock. So
That's a huge cost savings that really gets you can get that package and go out digging with everything that's there.
Oh,
Right.
that's
And she wants to know what kind of scoop you use, Brandon. You should be using the Treasure Talk Pro Sifter Titanium. You got one handy, Phil?
I've got that here in the shop for sure. But I think Naka wants them to use, and I've got the Naka scoop here too.
Well,
I've
he
got the
can't use
Nocta scoop.
that scoop.
I've got a few scoops. But yeah, I use whatever I need to go get the job done.
To
But
get the job done. Yes, that titanium one is super light, and
titanium is light. Yeah.
oh, it's just incredible. Jeff uses it. I've used it, and it just makes it. It's got some thin slots in the middle there, the jewelry catcher, and that
Yeah,
makes
I think we need to add like some sand scoops in with all these promo packages for the holidays, man. I'm telling you, people aren't thinking about us at the beach. They're just not thinking about it. But
Yeah, beach
and we need
package.
to, yeah, but put some beach pouches in there. Sand fall out really easy. Just everything. But
Well, they're talking about the lightness of that Treasure Talk Pro Sifter Titanium. I think it's with the handle. The carbon fiber handle is what, 2.6 pounds?
I thought it was 2.25, but yeah, it might be 2.6. It is super light.
That's with the pull handle added.
Yes. And I just got a question on here from Frank's. It looks like Frank's Fly Traps. Phil, do you have the stock Legend headphones? I don't see them on your website. Now, I sell most of my stuff here in the store, and I'm the guy who has to put stuff on the website. And if there's anything lacking, that probably is, but I do have them in stock. So you'll have to call me. I'll try to get them on the website tomorrow, but I just end up being so busy in the store that it takes me a while to get stuff on the site for sure. So just call me and we'll get it shipped out to you. For sure.
One thing we always say, always call Phil, 813-237-1939, because if Phil doesn't have it in stock, you don't need it.
Absolutely.
You're looking for stuff, call.
And it looks like, Jeff, we're at that time that quick. We went that hour.
It's gone fast.
It does.
I apologize for the little glitch on the giveaway. Next time it will be in the live stream so everybody can see it.
We're going to try to do that on Saturday. I've got Joe Beasy, Big Poppy. He's going to be helping me on Saturday. And maybe we can do that, Jeff. Give away a T-shirt or something just to try it out. And
yeah, we'll do something.
Yeah, we'll do it.
I'll work with it later in the week and we'll get it figured out. But it falls directly on me because I didn't get it done right. But we got two winners. And we'll get them.
We got the job done. You'll send me the info and we'll be done with it. But Brandon and Chris, thank you for being on here. And
Thank you
guys.
having us.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you, Jocelyn, for helping me and giving me all the questions that you gave me. And it looks like that's about it for today. We're over our time, Jeff.
And now we got about 15 seconds.
15 seconds. You better be quick.
I know. Okay, we're going to do a little live spot from the shop probably on Saturday, so keep your ears peeled for that. If you're not a member, make sure you're a subscriber and ask for all notifications. That way you'll know anytime we go do that. And this would be a perfect time for you if you're thinking about doing some Christmas shopping. So make sure that you're listening out on Saturday afternoon. And then next Monday night, we're going to have Sid and KT Jones from Atosha Treasure Adventures. Those are the two folks that worked directly with Mel Fisher when they found the main pile on the Atosha and the Santa Margarita. So they've been on a couple times before. You will definitely want to be here to see them. And they're very, very cool people and treasure hunters. And then we'll be doing on the 18th will be our last show of the year, and that will be our Christmas special. And there'll be a bunch of giveaways on that. You'll get to see a lot of stuff. It'll be live from the shop. Big Poppy should be there. Phil will be there, and you can ask about things. And We'll have a lot of giveaways, and you can do some Christmas shopping there. And Phil will get it out the next day to you. So you should have it by Christmas. So
Yes.
yeah.
Hey, I wanted to say one more thing before we go. From the Mumbles band, Tim Naylor, he said any show dealing with Naka is a good show.
That is true. And also, thank the Lord, praise the Lord for all favors. I talked to the Mumbles man today. He and his wife and his daughter, Jennifer, who's been in intensive care, was put into rehab. They're on their way home, be home Wednesday, where Jennifer still has some rehab to do, but she's back and she's going to rock and sock. And that's the best news we've had all day.
Excellent.
Plus, the fact is, Big Poppy's wife is in full remission. So this is going to be the best holiday season Treasure Talk has ever had.
That's fantastic.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks for
Thank
being
you.
on the
Thank you very
show.
much.
Thanks, everybody. And we were over our time, but we will see you next Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sid and KT from Atosha Treasure Adventures. And we'll be giving away one of their very good books, Sweat of the Sun, Tears of the Moon. See you then.
See you then.
Good night, everybody.